You see, this is a new regime of visa issuing process. It's not to blame anybody at this point. It is to ensure that this regime has come to stay and that with time, everything we need shall be in place. We have to use a lot of our discretion in this official situation, and that's why the mission is here. That's why we are here as officers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We have to use a lot of our discretion to ensure that this critical problem is resolved. And we are getting there. This situation is vastly improved now. And the hall, as you can see later, is not accommodating a whole crowd as it was when the regime was created for the e-passport in Dublin. So now everything is relaxed, and the huge crowd is no longer there. Appointment is also being followed, and those who do not want to yield to the rule of appointment, as we advise, they should please obey the rule for applicants to take appointment before leaving their homes to come to Dublin for receiving these passports in the embassy.
So the message now, the strong message is that Nigerians should go to the website and check for the information about the issuance of passport before coming to
the embassy in Dublin to process or collect passports. That is very important. It is just very important.
But I come back to the issue of immigration, Nigerian immigration issuing appointment and the embassy issuing appointment. For example, if I find myself in a situation that the Nigerian immigration has given me an appointment and another person got the same appointment or got an appointment from the Nigerian embassy, and we both came to the embassy, is it me that is going to get priority or the other person who got appointment from the Nigerian embassy?
Well, both Nigerians will also use our discretion to adjust to address the difficulty that may arise in the process. I want to say, without being immodest, that the appointment given by the mission supersedes that of the immigration service in the situation we find ourselves peculiarly here in Dublin, Ireland. The reason is that the appointment from immigration service quite often makes the people to be at a disadvantage because the appointments from immigration could place a Nigerian applicant for the e-passport to collect his or her passport in the month of October, while the applicant is in a critical situation. He needs passport to resolve his immigration status, to save himself from losing his job, to prevent himself from losing his card 4 or whatever the card is called, to maintain his or her stay in Ireland. And they may just have within 10 days to complete all these necessities to get a passport and to come to immigration and resolve their problems, while the appointment from immigration is placed in October or August. So this is not possible.
It's not practicable.
So we have to use discretion to ensure that the appointment given by the embassy supersedes that of the immigration, because we are here on the ground. We know what the needs of our people are.
Okay, now that brings me to this question, staying on the same question. How would people know, or how do people get appointment from the embassy, and how do they differentiate the difference between appointment from immigration and appointment from the embassy?
Yeah, because of the problems we have had to contend with in terms of issuing the e-passport, we have been able to realize the impossibility of coping with appointments from immigration, which tends to put everyone under strain and stress. And that's how we arrived by giving appointments, and also to ensure that our personnel is not overstretched, and then we are able to control the crowd, the mammoth crowd from different places, these long distances that we drive every day with children to come for a visa here, when they rely on appointment from home. That's, Nigeria. So far, regularizing the appointment, streamlining the condition for appointment based on our own thinking and calculation here in the embassy has helped us to bring everything under effective control.
That's very good. That's very good. But the question again is, for people at home who wants to come to the embassy and who go online to pay for the form, and then when they pay for the form they get appointment, how do they know that the appointment they are getting is not from immigration but from the embassy?
By the time they get here and we see their slip, the date is there, right? And when we see such case and we examine your situation and we see that it's an emergency, this is where proper use of discretion comes in. But there are also emergency cases which I have mentioned in the course of this interview. People who are pregnant, who may deliver any moment, women, children withdrawn from school, children going for excursion, some competition in another country in Europe, doctors that shouldn't be kept waiting, quite a lot of emergencies. So it really calls for prompt use of functional discretion, and we are grateful to God that we are getting there to resolve all these problems.
What if people like that who needs passport urgently, instead of coming to the embassy to resolve the situation, put a call through to the embassy from their houses, telling you their situation or the appointment time they've been given? Is it possible to look at that appointment and reschedule it for them without them having to come to the embassy?
I will advise such an applicant to come to the embassy with whatever he has that contains that appointment from headquarters. I'll advise such an applicant. And it's only when they come that one can review the appointment they have got to suit their situation here on ground. Quite a lot of calls to me regularly at home and everywhere of this type of scenario, and I've always been able to give them satisfactory attention directly whenever they come to the embassy.
Just like the sun, light up the earth, you light up my life. The only one I ever see with a smile so bright. And just yesterday, you came around my way. You changed my horse in way with your astonishing beauty. Oh, you could not make a brother sing, no ordinary.
The Charge d'Affaires, Mr. Alabi, on behalf of the other members of staff, Embassy of Nigeria, Ireland, played host to the 2010 Miss Nigeria Ireland, Elizabeth Bola-Joko, when she paid the mission a courtesy visit last Tuesday, 2nd of June.
Everything a supernatural being, and no, you are brighter than the moon, brighter than the star. I love you just the way you are, and you are my African queen. The girl of my dreams, you take me where I never been, yeah. You make my heart go ding-a-ling-a-ling. Oh, you are my African queen, the girl of my dreams, and you remind me of a thing, and that is the African beauty. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, you are my African queen. Out of a million, you stand as one, the outstanding one. I look into your eyes.
Mr. Alabi urged her to be a good ambassador to her country, Nigeria. She was later introduced to the rest of the embassy staffs in their different offices.
And I'm sure you have been coping with the load of being Miss Nigeria since you won the contest, and I know that it's not easy to be a Miss Nigeria, because a lot of places where you have visited, we are seen for the second time, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I know a lot of places where you have visited. It must have been a great challenge for you. Also having to touch on some important issues affecting humanity, affecting your country. And I'm sure that with this response, quite a lot of Irish people will know that we are people with pride. We come from a nation with beauty. We come from a nation with viability, and we come from a nation that is not a nation of criminals. So I want to be the symbol and the true face of a successful Nigeria, and a true example, a model of a vibrant Nigeria in this country. So keep the flag flying. On behalf of members of the mission,
yeah, yeah, you are my African queen. Ooh, Lord, ooh, Lord. Just like the sun, light up the earth, you light up my life. The only one I ever see with a smile so bright. And just yesterday, you came around my way. You changed my horse in way with your astonishing beauty. Oh, you could not make a brother sing, no ordinary thing, a supernatural being. And no, you are brighter than the moon, brighter than the star. I love you just the way you are, and you are my African queen, the girl of my dreams. You take me where I never been, yeah. You make my heart go ding-a-ling-a-ling. Oh, you are my African queen, the girl of my dreams. and you remind me of a thing, and that is the African beauty. Hey, yeah. Ooh, you are my African queen. Oh Lord, ooh Lord. Out of a million, you stand as one, they are standing one. I look into your eyes, girl, what I see is paradise. Hey, you captivated my soul. Now every day I want you more. I cannot deny this feeling I'm feeling inside. Hey, no one cannot take your place, they cannot take your space. That is a fact I cannot erase. And no, you are the one that makes me smile, make me float like a boat upon the Nile. Girl, you are my African queen, the girl of my dreams. You take me where I never been. You make my heart go ting-a-ling-a-ling. Yeah, you are my African queen, the girl of my dreams, and you remind me of a thing, and that is the African beauty. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, you are my African queen, and I know, oh yes I know. You are my African queen, and I know. See I know what I am feeling in my heart and in my soul. Oh, I know that it's this love, and I know that this love was surely sent from up above, 'cause you're the only one that I think of. You are my African queen, and I know that this means that you're the only one that I will serve. I'll give you my heart, my love, my body and my money, every other thing you think of. In a man who could think of anything better than you, who could think of ever hurting you, sacrifice my whole life